Hello and welcome back to the Spellcorp Industrial Complex, where last time I built these big rock piles behind me to start generating some rocks for us. So we got black stone, the two different types of deep slate, cobblestone, regular stone, and basalt. And there's some generators in here generating a ton of stone for us, but I need a way to get this stuff back into our warehouse, so that's what we're doing first off today. I've built this little nice rock hauling truck over here. Look at that. It's so cute. It's got all the rocks in the back, and this here is going to be what's going to drive in. It's going to pick up some rocks, and it's going to drop them off at the warehouse for us so that we can start actually utilizing the storage in there, and I think that's going to be great. So I've built this truck up so far. All it is just the blocks. It's not set up as a train. So I have to convert it to a train. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to spare you the details of that because we've seen it a few times now. It's just going to involve some gluing, popping it up on some glass panes, and then connecting it to the rails below. And then I have to figure out how to set up a little connection here. And the one thing I'm a bit concerned about immediately is we have our garbage truck that drives through this road already. So if I want to connect this truck up to the same roads, I have to start considering train signals to make sure that our trains don't collide. And I don't have any idea how those are going to work for us. So it's going to be a bit of experimenting, I think. But I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to get this one on the rails so that we can drive it around and we can start figuring out that route. Okay, we got our truck on wheels here, and it's now it's driving. It's drivable, and if we come up to this pickup rock station that I created underground here, there's those little suckers underneath that start loading the rocks into the truck. And then basically it's as easy as we'll have it drive all the way out here. So that is fantastic. What I do have to figure out though is going to be, oh, that's the wrong way. Is there an option to turn the other direction out of here? I have no idea. We might have to add another road. But basically now we have to figure out signals, because I think the way we'll do it is if we look at the signals on the ponder menu here, this is what we're looking for. Okay, if we place the different signals kind of opposing, it creates segments. So we can create different segments to say, hey, don't let a train in here while this segment's occupied. So I think the way we can actually just do it is make this little dirt road one segment, and if it's occupied, then our vehicle won't enter it, right? So we can even break it up into probably like a couple of smaller segments, I would guess. If we just make it one big segment, then we don't ever have to worry about anything like this truck, because this truck, it'll have to back into this zone, and the garbage truck has to drive through that gate here, so this is a major collision spot. So we're probably just going to save ourselves a lot of headache if we make the whole thing one zone so that nothing can enter. But obviously that's subject to change. I don't really know how these work, and maybe we'll be able to adjust it a bit more later, but I'll make a zone in there and that'll fix that. But now what I'd like to get going is I'd like to be able to drive the truck into the parking lot over there. I'd like it to be able to back up, and I'd like to start unloading stuff off of the truck so that we can start throwing it in our actual warehouse. And then I'm gonna have to figure out how we're gonna do the triggers to get this truck to load the stuff up, but that is for the next step. We'll worry about actually getting it over there first. I'm realizing too that I was kind of overthinking this problem, because right now how I have it set up is I only have one road that runs through here, but it's going to solve the problem a lot easier if I actually just split it up into two lanes like I've done everywhere else, because then we can have one lane for going in, one lane for going out, and assuming the trains are following the traffic rules, they can still drive past each other at the same point, and that's going to make it a lot easier because then we can have two different segments. So this garbage truck can still actually come in as long as the other truck's in the other lane. So that's going to solve a lot of that, and it is just going to mean I'm going to have to kind of change how I have the roads set up in here a bit. I don't know if they'll work super well for the dump portion, but we can at least maybe make it split. Hopefully that's going to make it a bit easier to set up those signals afterwards. All right, with some restructuring down here, we now have two lanes underneath. So cars can come in this way, cars can go out that way, they can turn left and right from here, and they can turn in from the left and right over there. And the way it's going to work is we're going to have, say for example, our rock truck. Our rock truck needs to back up into that spot. It's going to drive in down the right lane. It's going to pull up to the gate here. It's going to hit a spot, and then it'll back up into the zone here, and then it'll leave through the right lane on this side to go out. And I guess the way we'll mark it is we'll make it so when the rock truck is on this lane, we're going to have a zone here for where it's dedicated to back up. And then as long as, if there's something in that zone, then neither of the vehicles should interfere. So it'll be like, the issue is the two lanes merge together here. So we'll add, kind of make that a zone where the lanes start to merge and then make each other section a zone. So I need to make some train signals and play around with those. I'm just going to make a couple and place them down and kind of hope they work because I got other things I want to move on to today. And the moment I see a collision, then I'll adjust. But for now, it's fine. How do I make a train section a two-way one? Isn't there a way to do that? I thought it suggested there to be a way to do that where I could... Yeah, like this. If a train signal is added facing the opposite way, it should go two directions, right? That's what I want. I want it to do that. Oh, there we go. Now it's working. Cool. We'll get to see here if our garbage truck will drive the right way with these train signals set up. It appears like it won't. Okay. Well, why is that? I'm not sure. It's supposed to go... It can go any direction here. But we want it to go this way. So do we have to add like a section? Oh, is it because it's because this is in here? So maybe we have to break this up into smaller sections. And then this one and say this way. Does that fix it? Aha! That frees it up. So that makes this inbound section a little bit different. Okay, so that works. And we encounter another issue. Why is it not going here now? I'm going to guess it's because this is all one big section and there's a train over there is probably why. So we have to mark more things off. Okay, we're just going to start throwing things down, I guess. Oh, I guess I probably have to mark up this whole intersection with signals. Great. Does that do it? No, not quite. Maybe that way? Okay, that seems to have done something for now, I guess. Oh boy. Okay, train signals do complicate things quite a bit. It seems like every time, if we want different lanes to even function, we have to split everything up into sections. So this lane will have to have its own signals running down, and that lane will have to have its own. Otherwise, you can only ever have one vehicle. Okay, well, some complicated infrastructure rewrites, but we'll get it working eventually over time, I think. Now we can just schedule up our rock truck to drive in and out of the parking lot over there, and it should be good to go. And then we'll have two vehicles driving around. Fantastic. I need way more signals than I ever could have foreseen, so I will be making a ton of sturdy sheets, I guess. Luckily, we have a bunch of obsidian dust left over, and we have this handy-dandy little thing here that makes sturdy sheets for me. Look at that. Oh, that's good. These each make one. Oh, we have so many. I have a lot of sturdy sheets. Okay, wow. Great. Look at this absolute rat's nest under here now. Just breaking this up into different sections because I needed a way for that truck to be able to pull out and not interfere with this one. And look at all these different things. Every intersection has to have a few. And if we want those intersections to go multiple directions, there's even more. So, oh boy, is it going to get hectic and crazy. I'm willing to bet that these rail systems underground is probably what's causing a huge portion of the lag in this area right now, because every time I add more, I think I lose frames. We're at 20 FPS right now. That is crazy. This is horrendous over here. I don't know how long I can deal with this. We might have to start building a new area farther away and work on stuff that way. But this is just bad over here. But whatever. Back to work. Oh no, not to even mention we have to add a way for the truck to back up into the spot, so we need another rail going that way, which means more signals. Cool. This is gonna be great. Disastrous. Next time I make a create Minecraft world and use trains and things, I am not making as many backup areas. They complicate things. We're specifically making things go in circular paths only. Now, assuming we leave our rock truck parked here all the time, we want to make our first action to travel to the rock pickup backup zone. We'll have it wait 0 seconds and then back up into the actual pickup rocks and then configure that however we want to do it. I don't know, cargo inactivity probably, or limits. I don't know. We'll do cargo inactivity maybe. We'll do cargo inactivity actually, or we can also add item cargo conditions and make it wait until it's holding specific items. That could be good. No, we'll just do cargo inactivity. I can mess around with this later. The issue I'm foreseeing with cargo inactivity though is if we're only pulling some of the rocks off of the truck, and then say it ends up every rock comes off of it, but there's still cobblestone in it, then it creates an imbalance that over time leads towards the truck only being filled with one type of stone, and that's going to be an issue. But I think we actually, if we have the drawers set up with void drawers here, it should be fine. Stupid undead knight. It should be fine, because then it should always empty itself when it gets to, when it's sitting here. And then as long as those are all producing at the same rate, there should kind of always be an equal amount of items in there. Yeah, cargo inactivity is okay. We'll just do that. So after that, it should go to the drop off rocks backup zone, wait 0 seconds, and then back up into the spot. We're also going to have to add some speed limiters because otherwise this thing's going to fly around. But otherwise, that looks good to me. And at this one, we're going to do until station powered, because this will be our last zone, and we're going to have it parked here all the time. So we're only going to actually send it out when we need some of the rocks to fill up the warehouse. I got the schedule all made up for our rock truck here. Now the only thing left is to find a willing driver. Wonder who we're going to use this time. I got an expert driver message. What is this? Run a red train signal. Oh, that's bad. That's not good. That's fine. I think I actually want to move this station like a block forward, though. I don't like that the wheels went into it. Whoops. Okay, let's find a driver, though. Oh my gosh. I love how good the frame rate is out here. Out in the desert. This is great. There's someone I want to hunt for. I want to see if a dear old friend of ours will work as a driver for our vehicle. I don't know where he is, though. I'm going to have to search for a little bit here. Just as the sun is setting, I've found him. Up on the ridge there. Our new driver. Hopefully it works. Remember this guy? The king of the jungle, now the king of the desert? We're bringing him home. Come on, Mr. King of the Desert. Okay, let's go see if he works. Okay, I hope this works if we put him on a lead. And yes! Oh my god, that's amazing. Okay, so we can give him the train schedule. And he's gonna go? He's gonna go pick up rocks? Let's see if this works. Let's see if it properly backs up into the spot like it's supposed to. Drives along the right side of the road as intended. It should stop about here. And it should start backing up. It should start backing up. Okay, I already see what the issue is. I think I know exactly what's happening. We're gonna need more train stations. Where are these? Oh, I have train signals. Because I'm gonna guess I put the station. Yeah. Okay, so it won't cross this because the garbage truck is over there. So if we just add a section for like this, then it should automatically work, and then that will let our garbage truck go. So it should start backing up. I gotta get back to the surface. I want to see this. Stop, please. Where's the hole? There we go. Okay. Okay, but that's working great. So it's gonna back up. It's a little bit slow, but that's fine. It's gotta be. Shut the door on Mr. Lion. He's looking the right way while he's driving. And it should go into this station. Right onto the sucker things. It should sit there for about 5 seconds. And it should drive off again. Oh, baby. Look at that. That is fantastic. Sweet. Now let's make sure it backs up properly as well over here. Another issue where it doesn't want to go in, I'm assuming because of that truck over there or something. So what's going on down here? Let's see. It doesn't want to enter the green section because that one's in the green section. So how can we split that up? Just like that, maybe? Okay, that works. Fantastic. Gonna back right up into its parking spot as intended. Awesome, awesome. Now to pull everything off of it. And it should just sit here and wait until we send a signal to send it off again. That is great. Now, because of where I have the storage interfaces set up on this thing, which is these 6 blocks down here, I think we're gonna put the sucker portable storage one right from here because it can pull from everything on the machine if we just put it there, and then we'll run a pipe under and make it pretend that it's actually piping from the back of this. I don't think I want to use conveyor belts just because conveyor belts, they're pretty laggy, it seems like. So we'll probably just use some mechanism pipes, pull it up from, I don't know, maybe like, yeah, right into here or something. Pull it up, and then I think we can get like drawer extensions, and then we could run those through the floor, however many it takes, to hook up to our main drawer. And that should be good enough to start unloading it. Like, we can test it out and see. But I'll connect everything up here underneath first. Make sure this is set to pull. And that's good there. Run it along. And I think if we just take maybe a chest, we'll start seeing it pulling stuff out. Oh, look at that. It'll start pulling out all the blocks. Awesome. It's going to pull like a stack at a time of each, it looks like. That's kind of cool. Now, I guess I try to use these controller extensions and see if I can figure them out this time. I think if I just start by clicking on the drawer we want to link to, we can then link it. Configure to that to, oh my goodness, that lags a lot when it selects those. Okay, can I connect you? It must be too far to add that one, I would guess. Maybe here. Okay, we can add that. Can you chain them together to make it longer? Doesn't seem like I can. This is going to be as far as it'll go, is this one here. So I don't know if these controller extensions are much use to me. I guess I could always just set it in the ground and run to it anyways. And maybe set up like a hub for these 4 bays. Like if we just set it up in the ground right about here, in line with the main thing. Connect it that way. Set it to add. Connect it that way. Yeah, it should be good. Here is how I'm going to do it actually is I want it to look like you can see the stuff flowing in. So we're just going to have this little bar so that we can see the pipe, so we can see all the stuff flowing in, and it's going to hit this controller extension and go into there. And that's good enough for me, to be honest. And now we should start to see the rest of the items flowing in. Hopefully. Okay. It's gonna start flowing in. We gotta go watch over here and see if the numbers are changing. Oh, basalt's going up. Deep slate's going up. Oh, look at that. Cobblestone went up. Blackstone's going up. That's perfect. So stuff's gonna flow right in. Amazing. Super, super cool. Oh, that's good to see all the items flowing in, though. That is great. And this should just slowly be filling up. 1.1 thousand. Oh, that's awesome. And we should also see that reflect in our computer, assuming everything's working correct. Deep slate's going up right now. Cobblestone goes up. Blackstone. Oh, this is so fantastic. That is so good. So basically what's next, though, is I want to trigger this ship, this truck here. I want it to drive off when, I don't know, when maybe any one of these 6 things, when any of them are at like half. If it's like half full, then maybe we send it out. And these ones store a lot. They store 32,000 items, so there's going to be a ton. It's not going to be often that it reaches half full. But while it's under half full, then the truck's gonna go out, load the stuff up, and it's gonna keep coming back. So I think we can do that just with applied energistics and using like a, what is it here? I think I made one to test this at one point. A level emitter. I think if I just use a level emitter, even we can test. So the way that this is gonna work is, let's just throw in here for a second. Device online. You see how it's on right now? Perfect. Well, what if, let's see if we can catch this in time. Okay, we have just over 1,000 deep slate. Let's take a stack of this. Let's throw deep slate in this filter here. And let's say emit while levels are above or equal to 1,000 of this deep slate. So it's on right now. And we have 1,131. But if we pull out enough so it's under 1,000, it's off right now. But, oh, it turned back on because we just got more deep slate in. If we pull it out, it'll be off. The moment it hits 1,000 again, it goes back up. So we can actually use that to trigger when we want our ship to go off. Our truck, sorry. I keep calling it a ship. I'm not sure why. But basically all we have to do is we just have to make it emit when they're below the limit, right? So what do we think? Like 16,000? If our storage drawer holds 32,000, then we want it to, I guess we only want it to go when there's 16,000, but we want it to fill up to 30,000. Maybe this is more complicated, because if I say emit when it's below 32,000, it'll only get me enough while it'll only get me up to 16,000. I don't know. I'll think about it. We might need to be a little more complex about it, because I want it to basically, when it goes below half, so 16,000, I want it to send the truck off, but I want it to keep making trips until it hits 32,000. But the way that works is if we set it to 16,000, the moment we have more than 16,000 in the system, it's going to stop. So we'll only ever get 16,000, which doesn't work for what I want, really. I don't know. I'm going to have to think about that, I guess. Okay, with some clever redstoning, I think I figured out exactly how to fix what I was just discussing. Look at this. Okay, so let's say blackstone. If we have less than 1,500 blackstone, we're going to turn this on. It's going to send a pulse, which is going to toggle on the power toggle latch, which we'd have connected up to our little whatever thing down there, our train station. So then it's powered. Our truck's going to keep going, and because it's a toggle latch, it's going to keep going. But when we receive a signal from this one, it's going to toggle itself off, and all this signal is one to say when it's over 1,500. So when it's over 1,500, then it toggles itself off again. So what we can do with this same system is we can scale it up to, say, 1,600 down here. When it falls below 1,600, it'll turn itself on. But when it's above, if I can access the thing, when it's above 32,000, only then will it send another signal. So if we actually just use this, it should keep going and run routes, and we can actually test it exactly with the blackstone. What I'm not sure is I do want to see if there's a way to filter multiple things from one level emitter, because the only problem I'm seeing is having to make 6 of these circuits. That's a little annoying. If there's a way to add all 6 of them to each level emitter, then maybe that would be way better and have it work kind of as an OR gate, but whatever. We can see what this does. Let's actually just hook up. For now, we can hook up, what are these? Redstone link? We'll do a redstone link, and we're going to call it, I don't know. Do we have blackstone? Let's grab some blackstone. We'll do blackstone and this ME cable. And if we hook this up and say the same signal, blackstone, redstone, change it like that, it's toggled on. And there she goes. Look at that. And we can probably hide that, actually. I don't really want that visible. Can throw maybe some of these framed floorboards on the ground to help hide it a bit better, but there we go. Not so bad. Okay, it's on its run. It's backing up to pick up rocks. We will see it pick up rocks until it's full, I assume, and then come back and drop them off. Why did it leave? Oh. Oh, that is a flaw. It's supposed to wait for the signal. Okay, we have to add 2 terms. We have to add 2 terms to the schedule. Take our train schedule back. Here's the issue that's happening is it's continuing after if the station's powered, but we don't want just that. We actually want item cargo condition and to say that the train holds more than, I mean, if the train holds more than 0 items, we want to wait, right? So we want it to continue if it holds only exactly 0 items, so only when it's empty. Can we just say less than? Yeah, we'll say exactly 0 items. So when it's empty, continue if or after train holds exactly 0 items of anything. And then the secondary condition being that the station is powered. And maybe that will work. And is this on the right path still? We can update it that way. Hopefully that goes. Oh, it didn't work again. Come on. Okay, what if instead of doing it this way, what if we remove this one, and what if we just add another thing that takes you to the same station, but this one has the condition of station power? Then this way... Why did it... Like... What? It only pulled one thing off of it. What is going on? Maybe these farms aren't working. Maybe these are broken somehow. I don't know what is going on anymore. There's 31,000 blackstone in here, so it's not a problem of that. 31,000 deep slate, not a problem there. What is going on, guys? Are these not working properly? The same thing. What is going on? Is the truck just empty? What is happening? I don't know why it's not picking up stuff or what's going on. We're gonna let it go back and we're gonna turn off the signal over here and we're just gonna see if the truck is maybe just completely empty. I don't know why it's not picking up things from there. Oh, you know what? I wonder if... Here's what I'm wondering. My new theory after like an hour of experimenting here. Not an hour, but whatever. My new theory is that maybe the pipes that are pulling from the item vaults take at least 5 seconds to get to this. So it's not actually filling up. So then it detects this cargo inactivity. So if we can catch this guy really quick and change his schedule to say... At this one, cargo idle, instead of 10, what if we actually just say like 30 seconds? So it gives it plenty of time to get to it. And then give it back to him. Oh, and then give it to him there. Maybe now it'll start loading stuff up properly. And if we look in these pipes, we should hopefully see stuff coming through. There we go. Okay. Okay, maybe that's all it took. Now, if that's truly the case then... Maybe this does work exactly as I intended originally, where we say if it holds 0 and station's powered, and we can change this back, put it there, let this fill up, and hopefully that'll do it. Here it comes on its maiden voyage. Not actually a maiden voyage, of course. This has been many voyages of me trying to get this working. Will it stay at the warehouse for longer than 5 seconds this time? We will see. Oh. Oh. Oh my goodness. This is looking really positive. I think it's solved. I think that's our problem fixed. It's going to keep dumping everything out. The real question is, will it leave once it unloads everything? All this should be going in here, filling these things up. And just like that, when it's unloaded, it goes off again to get more. That is so good, and I'm glad we got that solved. And as night falls here, I regret to inform you that that's all I'm going to have time for today. Thank you for joining me. Hope you enjoyed today's episode of the Spellcorp Industrial Complex, where we finally got stuff flowing into the warehouse, and we now know how to do it going forward. So for any of our other farms that we want to add trucks for, I'm going to be a genius at this. I'm going to be a whiz. So join me next time at the Spellcorp Industrial Complex, where we're going to work on some andesite, some granite, and some diorite farms to get even more rocks coming in so that we have all the ingredients that we're going to need. I don't know if that's actually all the ingredients, but it's all the ones I have planned for at the moment. And then maybe to start addressing some of the leg in this area, we'll build something way over that way out of range so that this whole area is unloaded and I don't have to deal with the leg, and I can start doing stuff with higher than 20 FPS again, because that would be great. Plans for that later. Maybe a secret Spellcorp office. A big office tower with tons of data centers and stuff. That would be cool. Okay, anyways, thanks for joining me. See you next time. Love you. Bye. Bye, 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 bye. Whoa, my feet look terrible. Couldn't sell those for money.